We're going to finish off our idea of solving these linear equations with the idea of solving what's called a literal equation. We're going to need this first one for sure in order to do some graphing and some manipulating with the graphs later on. but the rest of these are good for us to be able to just think through the process of what we're actually doing here. Okay, so here's number one. We're looking to solve this for x. So I've got 3x minus 4y equals 7. I'm just going to put this on a separate sheet of paper here. Yeah, you can do this on, you should have enough space to do this on your sheet though. I'm looking and I want to solve this for x. So the things that I need to get rid of, I need to get rid of the 3 and I need to get rid of the minus 4y. The x has to get by itself. And so again, we follow the same SADMAP process. I've got adding and subtracting here. So I'm going to add 4y to both sides. And I get 3x is equal to, now what happens when I take 7 plus 4y is that I don't actually end up with 11y. I've got a plain number, a constant, and a number with a variable, the y. I can't add those things together. So I can literally just write them as 7 plus 4y, and that's fine. I could also write them as 4y plus 7. They both have positives in front of them. I don't have to worry about negatives, but I can write them in either way. But now I still am working to get this x by itself. So to get the x by itself, I have to divide by 3. Okay, and I have to divide by 3 on this side. Now two things happen. One is that I could leave this as 4y plus 7, all of that divided by 3, or I can take and I can divide the 4y by 3, and I can take and divide the 7 by 3. And this is the way that I want you to start looking at that, is that when you multiply and divide things, you're actually going to be multiplying and dividing everything on that side. Okay, and so I want you to think of it that way, that each one of these parts is being divided by that. And it's going to help you, again, in the long run here. So that was problem number one. Let's pick maybe a little bit harder one here. I don't know. Let's go with number 6. by plus 2 over 3 equals c. by plus 2 over c, I think. by plus 2 over 3 is equal to c. Over 3 is equal to c. And now we're solving this for y. So things that I need to get rid of. I need to get rid of this 3. It's dividing by 3. Dividing by 3. I need to get rid of this plus 2. I need to get rid of this times b. Okay, so I have to get rid of 3 things. So let's start getting rid of them. First thing that I want to get rid of is fractions. Get rid of fractions. This actually falls under the idea of parentheses. So if I'm doing the SADMAP idea, I actually am getting rid of a dividing problem here first. I can't add 2 because all of this stuff is divided by 3. Okay, I have to get rid of all of the dividing by 3 part first. So if you think of how much you hate fractions, get rid of the fraction first. 3 times c on the right-hand side is 3c. So I still have the y here. Things that I need to get rid of. I need to get rid of the b still, and I need to get rid of the plus 2. Well, the plus 2 is the next thing to go. So I get by is equal to 3c minus 2. The y is still what I want to be looking for here. The last thing that I want to get rid of is the b. I can get rid of b by dividing and dividing. And so I get y is equal to, and again, I want you to think of this like this, as all of that is divided by the b. Now, you could just leave it as this part right here, but we don't want to leave it that way. We want to start thinking of it as all of those things are being divided by that number when I divide there. Going through one that maybe is a little bit more difficult. 7. Let's do 7. P is equal to e squared divided by r. P is equal to e squared divided by r. And I want to solve for r. And so the first thing is I see a fraction. Get rid of the fraction. It doesn't matter Well, what it is, you see a fraction, I see a fraction, let's get rid of the fraction. So r times p is equal to e squared. Okay? Now, the bottom line is that the r is still what I want to get by itself. I know I put it with a p, but I actually did something to make this problem a little bit easier. There are no fractions anymore. Okay, as long as I'm doing something to make it easier, then I'm good to go. All right, but now I have r times p, so I have to get rid of the p by dividing by p. And so I get r is equal to e squared divided by p. And now the r is all by itself. So although that one looked a lot harder, really wasn't that much harder. Okay, I needed to get rid of the fraction, then get rid of the times p part. Okay, go through, solve the rest of these linear equations. We're working through and trying to use the ideas that we've used to solve regular equations where numbers actually added together, and solve what's called literal equations where you're just not adding things together. You're putting them all combined. If I have an a and I add 6, I have a plus 6. Where before I wouldn't have an a as the answer. I would have something like 6, and then I do 6 plus 6, and that's 12. Okay, I'm just not able to combine them, so I'm just writing them the way that they end up coming out in the actual process.